Hi, everyone, and happy Labor Day weekend. I have a new bottle to review. That bottle is Yellowstone Hand-Picked Collection Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, 119 proof. This is a single barrel store pick. This is one of them that I have moderate expectations about this, and I'll tell you why. So I saw this. I've actually had this sitting around for quite a few weeks. Haven't cracked it, and I had got this in a store near me. It's one of kind of like my rotation of stores that I have locally. This one is better than some others. There's others that's better than this one. It's kind of like somewhere in the middle. Prices, depends on what you're buying. I went in there one day on my drive home from my office and came in here, and something interesting happened. I was looking around, and for the first time in any store by me in New Jersey, the owner came over and said, would you like to sample this? Because I was looking at this bottle, and I'm like, yeah, I was like, I'm almost surprised by that because I think that's a great way to buy where they can actually give you a little taste. And I said, absolutely. So it gave me a very small little sample. It was very small, so I think the better judgment is going to be now. I thought it was okay. I didn't think it was off the charts, but I was curious enough about it. I was also really impressed with the way they were. I know that's kind of part of the sales pitch, but I liked it enough to buy it. I don't remember that I was just totally like blown away, but what I did think was it was unique. So I said, you know what? This is it wasn't, I don't think it was off the charts price wise. I forgot exactly what it was, but I'm like, I've never tried anything from this brand. I've never had Yellowstone at all. This is a store pick single barrel, and it's a decent proof. It's 119 proof. I figured I'd give it a shot. So basically, these are the basic facts. This is distilled. This is from the Limestone Branch Distillery in Lebanon, Kentucky. It says very clearly bottled by that's Limestone Branch Distillery. It says distilled and aged in Kentucky. So that just by seeing that alone, that would mean if it just says, distilled and aged in Kentucky, that means to me it is sourced whiskey. Okay, so that says sourced whiskey and bottled by the distillery. Basically, from what I understand about this brand, I think it started, it was founded in 2010, supposedly with the dream of restoring Yellowstone to its former glory. I do see the name Stephen B. Beam, president and distiller. I'm curious. I have to do some more research. If that name Beam, obviously, is this a branch off from the James Beam family, Jim Beam? I'm going to look further into that. But basically, this is like other brands have this hand-picked collection because they have regular bourbons as well. This is a store pick single barrel program. You go and sample it, and you get the name and all the information slapped on this bottle. This is a lot of transparency on this one. So what this is hand selected by the Monarchs Joker's Blend. That's what it says on the bottle. Single barrel number 16342. This was barreled on 12/3/2018. And the proof is 119. And basically, these hand-picked selections, from what I read up, average around 5 years, which makes sense, which would mean this was, this is probably bottled somewhere around last year. Could have been earlier this year, but this is averaging about 5 years. The standard bottling, so not the hand-picked, just the regular ones, basically, as I said, it is, I can tell just by the label that it is sourced, but the regular bottlings are a blend of their own distillate, of 4 years old, so a little on the young side, and then 7-year-old sourced Kentucky bourbon. Now, this is the interesting part. I know that there's going to be sourced components in this. They supposedly sourced their bourbon from the 1792 Barton Distillery. Barton 1792, owned by Sazerac. That's the Buffalo Trace connection, because Buffalo Trace is owned by Sazerac. So supposedly this distillate, I don't have this for sure, it doesn't say confirming it, but it sounds like it's from the Barton's Distillery, Barton 1792. So based on that alone, I have two thoughts. I love the 1792 foolproof, love it. And I did not like the 1792 small batch. This is 119 in proof. It's closer to that 125 proof of the full proof of the 1792. So because it's in that proof, my inclination would say if it's from 1792, then this would be better in terms of my palate. If it was lower or not. But we're going to see what it is. So this is a lot of information here. I thought it was a really cool looking bottle. Again, took that little sample. Now we're going to get a real taste. Let's get this in a glass and see what it's really all about. Okay, so that was an excellent cork pop, and actually very interesting on packaging. It had this label, and it literally just has a little tag here. The whole thing comes off. This is a very different type of cork, kind of thin at the top, but man, that was a good cork pop. And an interesting bottle too, kind of very original. But anyway, color looks, I guess it's kind of, everything's going to look light after, I just got done with the Penelope Architect, which was super dark. But this is more of what I kind of would expect for roughly around 5 years old. Nice, I don't know, got your goldish copper type color. Let's give this a nose. Rather light on the nose. Very, nothing in terms, absolutely nothing in terms of ethanol for 119 proof. Not much coming out of there. Let's give this a taste. Cheers. It's a little different than I remember. It's how, you have to remember, I took a very small sample of it. This is quite a punch for 119 proof. I think this drinks at least that, if not more. Nice finish. I'm getting a lot off the bat. I'd like to look up what this mash bill might be. I didn't see that on here. Let's see if I can find it. If I do, I'll write it in the comments. This tastes definitely a hefty degree of rye spice in this, no doubt about it. I would have to say there's a decent amount of rye in this mash bill. It tastes like a high rye bourbon, but we're gonna see if we can find that. Give this one more taste. It is very rye forward. Definitely some fruit in there. You're getting your caramel. This is a bold pour. I'll put it to you this way. I guess I liked it enough to, or was curious enough to buy it based on that sample, and just because I've never had anything from Yellowstone and the whole store pick, single barrel, unique, that, each one of these is going to be different. It's a single barrel store pick, but this is actually a little better than I recall from the store. It's not, I'm not going to say this is the best bourbon I've ever tasted, but this is a nice pour. I think this is kind of a bold pour. I think it's a rye forward fruit, with some fruit there, rye spice, some traditional notes, caramel, definitely decent mouthfeel. For 5-year-old single barrel, this is not bad. I would say this is good. It's a little bit better actually than I was expecting. It's not great, but I would say this is definitely a nice pour. I'm gonna look up the mash bill. I definitely taste some rye prominence in here, but I like this. I do like this. So, I was kind of like, it wasn't that I was excited to try it, but at the same time, I was kind of wondering this on that little sample I had, what I have to expect. This exceeds what I thought I tasted in a small sample. Definitely better than I expected. You know what? This was a good buy. I'm happy I tried it. We'll get more into this. Cheers. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Take care. 2 quick footnotes at the end. I did look up a mash bill of one of these hand-picked single barrels. Not sure if this is exactly the same thing for this, but I saw 2 different single barrels in this hand-picked collection that were 75% corn, 13% rye, and 12% malted barley. So that's not as high a rye content as I thought. At the same time, that would still be in the category of the mash bill number 2 in Buffalo Trace, which is high rye at 13%, higher rye. So Wild Turkey, I think, is 13% rye, and there's a lot of rye in that. So it could be 13%, and you could still be tasting that rye. That's the case in this. And the second thing is, yes, it's fruit forward. I am detecting on a second pour, I said a lot of fruit forwardness, definitely cherry in that and others, but I'm getting a lot of cherry and a bunch of other fruits. So that's the rest of it. Cheers. Take care. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Take care.